આ એક વસ્તુ ક્લિયર કે તો અમારો આખો રસ્તો એકદમ ખુલ્લો થઈ ગયો કે ભાઈ મરાઠીમાં કહે છે રામબાણ દવા. એટલે અમારે આ વસ્તુ ઇફ યુ ટેક એઝ મેડિસિન કે આનાથી આપણે ફાયદો થયો છે, આનાથી ફાયદો થવાનો છે.
આપણા સાથે આજે મુલ્લા હૈદરભાઈ પૂનાવાલા છે. મુલ્લા હૈદરભાઈ ઘણા વર્ષથી પોતે બિઝનેસના અંદર છે અને ખાસ એક બુરાઉદ્દીન મોલાએ જેવારે વ્યાજની દીકર ફરમાવી હતી તો મુલ્લા હૈદરભાઈ ને એની ફેમિલીનું બિઝનેસ વ્યાજને મૂકી દીધું ને એ લોકો એટલા વર્ષથી આજે દે આર રનિંગ અ થ્રાઇવિંગ બિઝનેસ. તો આજે આપણા સાથે મુલ્લા હૈદરભાઈ છે. થેન્ક યુ વેરી મચ આયા છો આજે ટાઈમ નીકાળીને સગલા અમારા સાથે સ્ટોરી શેર કરવાને. Can you please give a brief introduction about yourself and a little bit about your story? How did you get started?
Haider Sheikh Abdeli Poonawala, born and brought up in Pune. My father had a hardware business and he was councillor. And then we had powers at Baramati. So my father wanted to have some industry, and that is how he established the industry under the name of Union Steel Industries, which we are running last more than about 50 years or so. And since we were in hardware business, so that was we started with the wire nails and gamelas used for the agriculture and all those things. That is how, without any technical know-how or background or any help. And then by trial and error, then I was just a pass out from the school. My elder brother, Firoz Poonawala, he was there. Then they sent me to the Hyderabad for CET Institute for 2 months management training. And that is from little bit and various courses I have attended in Pune. So basically, by trial and error, we kept on learning. And before that, since I was in hardware, so some of the debit, credit, and all those things I was knowing little bit. And that is how the thing we started. Then we were with my uncle in the oldest firm in Pune, AK Abduji. So then in 1965-69 we parted. So we took the industry, and my uncle took the hardware shop, AK Abduji. And since then, with the trial and error of various things, and with some consultants and all those things, we started and moving towards the thing. My father was also councillor, and he was associated with the Chamber of Commerce and hardware merchant, all those things. So he had quite a good idea. And my father was very thick and thin with Sayyidina Tahir Saifud Sahib, Sayyidina Burhanuddin Sahib. એ લોકોનું બ્લેસિંગ ને હતું અને they were in good.
What motivated you to stay away from interest in your business dealings? And
શું છે એટલા વર્ષોથી અમે લોકો એટલા વર્ષોથી બિઝનેસ કરતા હતા અને ઇવન જે હાર્ડવેરની દુકાન હતી એ અને આમાં we are not anything at then of interest in all those things. So since it was a new venture for us, no background of any technical all those things. So by trial we kept on developing many components for us also, for the alpha level company and for the defense, and even little bit for the export purpose. But due to incompetency at then of technology, we ended up and our burden of the interest increased. So at one stage, we came to the situation, suppose if we had to liquidate our liabilities, even if we have sold our property, still we were left with say about 2-3 lakh rupees liability at then. I'm talking of 1975 or 80 somewhere. So that was not the proposal. So that why we were trying to rework out our composition of the finance. So how best we can do. Then we also realize that some of the item what we are, and then we are supplying to telco also, truck parts. Then we found that some of the things are not worth doing, all those things. And others, many things where our money were stuck longer period and all those things. And we were just getting my easy money from the bank. And that is how the thing we were trying to manage and arrange. Then on analyzing all this thing, what we found that we are just working for the bank. So considering all these things, we were in that situation and position. Okay, what is to be, what is the way out? And coincidentally, it happened to be by Alamia and Molani Kon Doathi, my Sheikh Numan Bhai, who was a basic guidance and pursue us from religious point of view. And he was a good friend of my father, because since they were associated for constructing the Pune city building, they were associated. My father, they used to have a weekly sabak meeting with other friends. So my brother also took to him, and how Sheikh Numan Bhai explained me, okay, what is the riba and what is complications and how it is going to ruin you. Because I have seen in my life other people who were in Moraz also and others, they were in the financing on the interest basis, all those things. Family means because of this, they are though they had finance, but because of the NISA, ઘણી બધી લોકોને physical બીમારીઓ આવી છે અને એના બચ્ચાઓને they have been affected. So this, I mean, you can say like bull's eye. I mean, it hit our mind. And we decided, brothers, Firoz Bhai and Nano Bhai Kezar, okay. And our father ni becha thi, bhai, you should not have any borrowing of where you have to pay interest, all those things. So we decided, and when I got up second day, so I felt like કે માથા પર બોજો હોય અને બાજુ પર તો કેમ હલકું થઈ જાય without reducing single rupee of our liability, I mean, kind of relief. જે સમજો આપણે બેંકમાં લોન બી પાસે ને થઈ હોય અને એક પ્રકારની જે બેચેની હોય છે અને everything gone, still was not done. So that felt personally me and a brother good. So we say, okay, this is going to be work out, and how best we have to do that, we have to plan out, discuss out and work out. So this was the point to motivate for Quranic ayats and all those things. So we said, inshallah, we'll do better.
You must have faced some challenges when you were transitioning. પહેલા હતા ને હવે નીકળી ગયા, તો એમાં જે challenges આયા હતા, તો કોઈ એક બે challenge ની વાત કરો છો and how you overcame them?
See, challenges તો ઘણા આયા, because the liquidity હતી with the bank help. Then without all of a sudden any flow of the cash, we did face initially many things, but જેમ આપણે કહીએ છીએ કુદરત કઈ સુજાવે છે એને કઈ રસ્તો દેખાડે છે. Since once if you have your faith and belief in that, so automatically you get the રસ્તો તમને દેખાઈ શકો. એ પ્રમાણે then what we did, some management techniques. અમે જે લોકોને સપ્લાય કરતા હતા મટીરિયલ, so we asked them, so why please if you can give us the payment early, if you want you take discount. So that is how the out of that 60-70% thing work out. Then whatever excess stock of material and unusable things were there, we liquidated it. In fact, to start with, the car which you had bought at then at 25-30% within 15 days or months, when we took decision, we sold it. And this is how we try to start and to make us realize. Suppose I was a addict of tea. So I used to have 10 cups of tea. So then I cut down by about 50-60% of the tea. So what was our intention that a rupee or two we save. So that is the how we can reduce it. Number two, sometime I tried to came from my home to factory about it on the bicycle. So in order to realize by my mind and body for the purpose of the soul, what best we can be doing, how fast we can get out of this. As a slowly other things where we try to take the help from the small saving of our children and family, whatever things was there, so that in order to involve them and make them realize what we are doing. Even we cut down as advice by the way, suki roti khao, and don't borrow the thing. So that is how then we cut down where the not necessary. Salad and dessert and all those things in order to feel and have and achieve our target of get rid of the liability or bank borrowing where we have to pay the interest. And there are other things also. What we had, what sellable thing, we sold it and try to minimize. And by grace of God and dua, bola and dua thi, Panchaplan Vasila, Ame Lagbog within 4 to 6 months, we reduce our liability by 50%. And in the meantime, we got some more order, we needed some extra additional construction. And many of the time what had happened, I had no money to pay my 40-50 workers, salary wages. So I just drafted one letter for temporary overdraft to the bank also. Well, luckily within a day or two, before I could put that paper forwarded, or a urgent order required by the defense came, and that we again their requirement a month or two, we made it in 15 days, a month's time, and we got the thing payment immediately. So the problem I had to finance no to pay the workers, all those things that got sorted out. And as far as I used to go at least every second or third day to the bank. Bank no paisa adjust so all those things slowly it was streaming out. And since then, thereafter we had to have an investment which we did by taking some interest-free loan from the relatives or known people. And another thing, what I felt in there also, the machine which I could have paid about 10 lakhs. So I just got those imported machine at less than 50% or so. So I feel that that was the indirect blessing of our niyat. And barkat and nemoto thai. This is how we just came out of that. And within another next 2 years time, 2.5 years, all our bank's liability were over. And since my father was insisting we should be out of interest, and then Sayyidina Ashara Wahaz was at Karachi. So my father, when I had to go to receive him in Bombay airport, and this is what I told him, we are out of borrowing. And he was happy.
So once you took the decision કે હવે નીકળી જવું છે અને પછી જે આખી વાતો કીધી કે યાસી થોડા લીધા યાસી લીધા કટ બેક કીધું કરતા કરતા ને એકવાર once you had that intention કે મને નીકળી જવું છે ને as you said રસ્તાઓ થતા ગયા and things started working out અને હવે નીકળી ગયા એના પછી what was your experience કે once all of the borrowing was completely cleared પછી શું થયું?
આ એક વસ્તુ ક્લિયર કે તો અમારો આખો રસ્તો એકદમ ખુલ્લો થઈ ગયો કે ભાઈ મરાઠીમાં કહે છે રામબાણ દવા એટલે અમારે આ વસ્તુ ઇફ યુ ટેક એઝ અ મેડિસિન કે આનાથી આપણે ફાયદો થયો છે આનાથી ફાયદો થવાનો છે તો એ પ્રમાણે we stick to that. In the meantime, અમે રિક્વાયરમેન્ટ જગા હતી અમારી પાસે લગભગ 40,000 સ્કેટ. અમારો બિલ્ટઅપ વોઝ હાર્ડલી અબાઉટ 2-3,000. અમારે બિલ્ટઅપ કરવાનું હતું, તો વી એક્સટેન્ડેડ ધેટ બાય એડજસ્ટમેન્ટ ઓફ ઓલ ધોઝ થિંગ ટેમ્પરરી. અને વી વેર લકી ઇનફ એનું ફાઉન્ડેશન કરવાને સૈયદના બુરહાનુદ્દીન સાહેબના હાથથી એનું ફાઉન્ડેશન બી થયું હતું અમારું. અને એ બરકતો થતી ગઈ. એ પ્રમાણે બીજું એક્સટેન્શન બી આગળ કરું. એમાં બુરહાનુદ્દીન સાહેબ આવ્યા હતા, એના હાથથી ફાઉન્ડેશન કરું. તો આ બધી બરકતો અને નેમતોથી અમારે ઘણી તસલ્લી થઈ. અને તે વખતે અમને મારા કોઈ બી કામમાં મને પૈસાના માટે અડચણ આવી નથી, કઈ કે રસ્તો નીકળી જાય. તો આ એક મોટી નેમત હતી. અને બીજું મોસ્ટ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ શું છે, જે પીસ ઓફ માઇન્ડ હતું, વિચ વોઝ નોટ ધેર. કે બેંકમાં 50 લાખ 2 લાખ પડ્યા છે, અને પણ જે બેચેની જેવું હતું બધું એવું કઈ અમારે રહ્યું નહીં. અને ઇટ વોઝ અ ગુડ વે ટુ ડ્રાઈવ ધ રોડ મેપ. And even at that time, also before that, because of our mismanagement or knowledge, I said earlier, we had landed in the trouble. So we got the experience from all those things, and we become little bit in sense and try to do proper way the thing. And thereafter, there was not such a problem in these areas or the funds.
હવે જીવારે આ જે આખું પ્રોસેસ ડિસ્ક્રાઇબ કર્યું કે જે નીકળી રહ્યા હતા, તો કેન યુ ટોક અ લિટલ બીટ અબાઉટ હાઉ યુ ફેલ્ટ ડ્યુરિંગ ધેટ ટાઈમ? ઇતના જે 6 મહિના 2 વર્ષ કે તમે જે કીધું ઇતના થયા to get out of borrowing. So what was going through your mind at that time? How are you feeling? How are you coping with everything? Can you shed some insight on that?
It was like that we had become free bird. And we had a lot of clarity, opening of the mind as how we should go, how the business should run. And it has to be run. So that encourages us. And then what we decided, I mean, our જે આજે 40-50 માણસોનું આપના ઉપર એ લોકોનો એહસાસ આપના ઉપર છે, વાયસા વર્ષા, તો એ લોકોને સર્વાઈવ કેમ થાય ને આપણે સર્વાઈવ કેમ થાય. તો ઘણી વખતે એવા કામો આવ્યા છે જેને સમજે આપણે કઈ એમાં આપણે રૂપિયાનો મળવાની જગ્યા પર આપણે 5 રૂપિયા ને 10 રૂપિયાનો ફાયદો થઈ ગયો છે 10 ગણો. અને એવા ઘણા કામો આવતા ગયા. અને તો એના પહેલા બી એક્સપોર્ટ બી કરવાના, તે જેરીકેન ને બધું બનાવ્યું હતું, બીજા અમુક પ્રોડક્ટ વેર ઇટ વોઝ નોટ સુટેબલ વેન વી મેડ અ થિંગ રિયલાઇઝ. બીજું કે આલ્ફા લેવલ કંપની છે એના અમારે કામ રેગ્યુલર આવતા રહ્યા. અને the thing was moving and we were getting more. અને ટેલ્કોના બી અમે જે કામ કરતા હતા that we minimize the thing. અને એના પછી ધીરે ધીરે we built up our capital, working capital. અને થોડું ઘણું એક્સપાન્શન તો એ બી થયું અને આ બી થયું. અને એ દરમિયાન પછી અમારા બીજી કઈ અસેટ્સ હતી ફાધરની ને એની, એના થોડા ઘણા અમે લિક્વિડ કરીને પૈસા બી આવ્યા. સો એના હિસાબે અમે બાકી અમે જે 3 ભાઈઓ અમારા બધા 8 બચ્ચાઓ જે હતા એ લોકોનું એજ્યુકેશન વેલ એજ્યુકેટેડ એઝ વેલ એઝ આનું આપણે લોકોનું એજ્યુકેશન, મેરેજ, એવરીથિંગ એ થતું ગયું. અને એટ ધ સેમ ટાઈમ અમે લોકો અમારું પર્સનલ ફેમિલીનું ટ્રસ્ટ હતું. મારા ફાધરના કાકા ને કોઈ ઇશ્યુ નહોતા, તો he had made all the sole trustee to my father for the welfare of the education and medical for the community and needy people. So that we continue better way. And still that we are doing. And any જે કઈ ટ્રસ્ટની જે કઈ પ્રોપર્ટી હતી તે લીધેલી, I am talking of maybe about 1940, 50, 50, 60 પહેલાની વાત છે આ બધી. તો એને અમે આજની તારીખમાં આ કરીને we got it liquidated and we lucky enough to get a good amount and we invested in Pune Cantonment Hospital of about 20,000 square feet, and we put their dialysis machines નાખ્યા, બીજા એક્સરે મશીન આ તે બધું કરી that we handed over to them, so that not अपने મોમેન મુસ્લિમ અને બધા જે એ એરિયામાં ઘણા ગરીબો લોકો છે, so they have benefited and they will be benefiting in the years to come. So that is what we did, and then whatever the expansion, all those things, and અમારા બધાના જે પહેલા રહેતા હતા ઘરો એ બધા we spread out the thing with the liking of the children, all those things. તો પહેલા અમે એક જ બિલ્ડિંગમાં રહેતા હતા, મસ્જિદ, સિટીની મસ્જિદના સામે. એ પછી બધાની જરૂરિયાતના હિસાબે અકોર્ડિંગ ટુ રિક્વાયરમેન્ટ બધા અલગ અલગ ધીરે ધીરે આ થયા. અને સાઈડ બાય સાઈડ દેન થોડા ઘણા પૈસા હતા અને થોડા ઘણા અમને જગાઓની ઓફર આવી લેન્ડની. તો એમાં બી વી હેડ financial offer where you can pay 10, 15, 20% now, and your balance amount you can give us after within a year or 2 or 3. So that's how we invested some of the money. And what personally I keep on thinking, I mean, to my mind, from commercial and a business point of view, this I take as something like a miracle for me from my point of view. What all this happened, because otherwise, as a layman or as a this thing, it was not feasible and possible. So this I take it this, and when we are getting, I will take it this as a fruit with the peace of mind of our the year of ani nemat and barakat છે. અને બીજું as I said, father no Sheikh Abdul Bhai no Abdul Haider Bhai, my father, as they were good relations with both the Sayyidna. And whenever they were in Pune, we had opportunity for Jafat, all those things, which was not earlier, before Sayyidna ne je wahis se apne Keroma. એના પેજ they were not this thing. And ઘણા બધા સાહેબો હતા, સાહેબ લોકો, I mean, they keep on coming. Being my father was a secretary and also in general, so they were personally knowing, so sometimes they comes to house and all those things. So that way he did.
આનું પૂનાની કોઈ યુનિવર્સિટીમાં કે કેસ સ્ટડી બી પબ્લિશ થયું છે?
હા, હવે આજે અમે અચીવમેન્ટ કીધી તો IIM Ahmedabad, they have done a case study on our unit as how we did away with the bank borrowing. So what Apna Jekito, then they had prepared a case study, and that case study is being discussed till today in the various class. Then my brother had done a PhD on this, and he is given the title as the turnaround management. Because if we put Rivan, all those things, or the third party and all those things will not like it for the situation. And he used to give lectures to various university, I mean, various banks and other things, and classes. In fact, I think they had given lecture to the Noman Dasma Halkanema Suratna Jamia Mape. And his first visit for the international conference at Cyprus, and he presented the paper and all those things, which turned out good because the International Bank Association were there. Chief from the mission, all those things. And on the way back, he had a good time in Karachi. The Sayyidna was staying at Karachi, so he had given about 1.5 to 2 hours to know the thing, what he has done and what he is doing and how the things are there. And earlier, he happened to be the advisor in the Maharashtra government and central government at the time of Mr. Gandhi, when PC Alexander was the industrial project of profile was looking after. So he had a good relation with him also. As I said, બીજો એક મરાઠીમાં કહેવત છે, સગળ્યાલા ઝોપ હસ્તે પણ વ્યાજાલા ઝોપ નહીં. એટલે શું છે, બધી વસ્તુ સુઈ જાય છે પણ વ્યાજ સૂતું નથી. એનું મીટર 24 કલાક ચાલુ રહી છે. વેધર તમારે રિસેશન છે, or any other problems are there, they are not bothered. I mean, that once you borrow many, a લટકતી તલવાર 12 મહિના 24 કલાક રહી છે. So considering all the aspect, all those things, I mean, I feel, I mean, lucky enough, we are lucky enough to have a father and his blessing via Bolas and Panjat Wasilati. And another thing, what we have done, we have not going for much expansion in the sense than the needed. So that whatever we can manage within our capacity, by jetli chadar chetlo pag phelao, and go slowly. And see, then I had also had some course at Ahmedabad IIM, and then what I understood and learned with the so many case study of 100, 150 or 200 year case study of European country or UK and all those things. So ultimately up and down is there. When what are the family in general, if you see that, you know, for the dhawano che, unless you go multiple times. Now, hamare mein biji su policy kehte ke we, since we had experience of telco, we used to go for the smaller batch of quantity, where we have the good margin. I mean, there are two systems. Have a more quantity, less margin, and vice versa, less margin and quantity. Ultimately, what we interest how best we can manage without much of the overheads of any kinds, so that then we're peaceful. Then see, since last as far I'm concerned, I mean 30, 40 years for after this. I mean, I'm just going to recover my cup of tea gaili pillani to the factory. And am I enjoying that? And there is not much day-to-day any financial problem of this thing. And because of this, we got a lot of exposure of ourselves and what best we can do, and how best we can do. So that is what we are trying to do. કે ભાઈ આ દવા अच्छी છે, તમે આ કરો બધા. In whatever words they understand. Because I have seen in industrial estate, industrial estate, there were other people that were running the industry where they're much more than us before. I mean, they, because of their borrowing, they have been no more. I mean, vanished. They had to go number of friends and all those things, which I still am watching. So it is the then one or two Marwadis friends were there in the society. One or two, I mean, they understood the thing, keeping that blockage of Islamic or non-Islamic. I mean, and they are surviving today.
ભાઈ એ
So
જે
that is
ભાઈ જે મેન્શન કીધું, I think that's quite ઘણું important એક point છે. 100%, 110% I agree કે biting off more than you can chew ના અંદર પછી ઘણા બધા problems થઈ જાય છે. જેટલું જે point કીધું ને કે જેટલી capacity છે, જેટલી જરૂરત છે એટલું કરી રહ્યા છો, અને very very powerful piece of advice I think.
અને ખાવાનું ખાલી 2 રોટલી છે આપણે, હલવા જ્યાદા રોજ નહીં ખાઈ શકતા, ન તો ઈદની મજા ના આવે.
આપતા પાસે 5 મિનિટ અબાઉટ છે મુલ્લા હૈદરભાઈ. એક ફાઇનલ ક્વેશ્ચન અને પછી આપણે પૂરું કરીએ. આજે after you ઇતના તમારા વર્ષોની એક્સપિરિયન્સ છે, what advice would you give to somebody who is looking to start their own business?
See, I'm not in position to advise on that, but I can say with my practical what I did and experience, one has to be involved thoroughly with the heart and mind, whatever they are doing. જેમ આપણે બંદગી કરે એમાં જ્યાં સુધી આપણે આ નહીં હોય તો આપણે પ્લસ માઇનસ આવવાનું નથી. So that is one should do. અને જેને જે કંઈ કરવું હોય he should have little bit knowledge, not 100% for technical perfect all those things. કે ભાઈ ધંધો કરવો છે, દુકાન છે, ભાઈ શું છે આવક જાવક, શું તમારો સેટ હશે, શું તમારા ખર્ચા છે, what is your working capital, તમારે પૈસા છે નથી, આ નથી. So that they have to plan, and what is the, again they are planning what are their scope is there or not in the business. So irrespective whether you are in any part of the world. હવે આપ કઈ મેં હમણાં ન્યુઝીલેન્ડમાં નિકીનતા છે. I'm in Pune. So I have nothing to worry in the sense I'm at my peace કે ભાઈ તા શું ચાલી રહ્યું છે જે ઇન્ચાર્જ છે બધા ભાઈઓ છે જોઈ છે કરે છે કે આ નથી. Though I am 110% involved in almost everything as managing thing. બીજા જે ફિરોઝભાઈ છે સોશિયલ જોઈ છે નાનો ભાઈ છે બીજો ટ્રસ્ટને જે કામ છે એમાં 100% ઇન્વોલ્વ છે. તો આજે હવે એટલે શું છે as I said free bird એટલે બીજું શું છે if anybody has to do they have to have bird eye view. જેમ આપણે ઉપરથી બરાબર આખું દેખાય clearly what are the things involved in the view. So similarly he has to understand the business, what is his object, what is his target, and what are the things whether he is capable or not. Make anybody my example of me. Me means Mount Everest. So Mount Everest પર તમે જવાની તાકાત હોય તો you have to keep yourself ready for that. Then only you can go. First you have to start with the local hill and all those things. So this is what everybody or anybody, this is my advice. I mean they should see the thing by કેટલી capacity છે and what is their aim and object. લોકોને રસ્તો માલુમ છે નથી માલુમ ઓકે દરેક વસ્તુમાં તમારે કન્સલ્ટન્સી ને આને બધી હેલ્પ લેવી પડે છે. That is a part of the game. So this is we'll just say, I mean everything you do with heart, mind and soul and with the faith in Almighty and Panjat and Duato and Akari and Lokana Vasilati, you keep yourself comfortable and more secure. For your limited this thing. So I mean is living and I think you can share from something.
Shukriya Mullah Haider bhai. Thank you very much for sharing your story and hopefully બીજા ઘણા સુની શકે અને એનાથી ફાયદો લઈ શકે. And thank you કે ટાઈમ નીકાળીને આયા.
Thank you. तो मैं जिंदगी में first time I am on the conversation or anything on the first time, which I had never thought till आपने बोला कहीं था ताशु दे कहीं विचार भी था न तो करो भी न तो उसे मैंने हिसाब के इडियट में ओके चल कोई नो कहीं फायदा होता तो अपन एने he told me to write the autobiography so that at least my immediate children एना बच्चाओं ने जो फायदो था or anybody who can understand this thing. So I mean anybody and everybody is welcome if they want to talk to me in this regard or any guidance which I can give you. That's all.